Hi, my name is Alexandra, and for my project, I'm going to talk about the very well known franchise, The Last of Us, specifically more the world of the game. For a quick summary, the game takes place 20 years after a widespread fungal apocalypse takes over the world, we meet our main character Joel, who's tasked with taking Ellie, a 14-year-old, across the country to a rebel group called the Fireflies. As we play, we get to learn that Ellie is immune to the virus, which is very important as is the reason why the Fireflies are so interested in her in the first place, since they hope that she will be helpful to finding a cure and finally putting an end to the widespread of the fungus. Like with many games, they'll face many challenges and learn to work together to fight the infected and among many other hostile threats like humans and sometimes dogs. To get to know a little bit about the characters, first we meet our main protagonist Joel, who at the beginning of the outbreak lost his daughter, and that played a huge impact on his character. And after reluctantly accepting to escort Ellie to her destination, he develops a deep attachment to her, leading to his inevitable betrayal of the Fireflies. Then we have our second most important character, Ellie. She is the normal type of program, brave, she's resourceful and quick-witted. She is extremely crucial to the story due to the fact that she's the only known immune person. Her immunity made her an important asset to the Fireflies' research in finding a cure, but it will have involved a brain surgery that will have taken her life. As you play the game and get to learn more about the world, we learned that the main cause of the apocalypse was a fungus called the cordyceps, which is an actual fungus that exists in real life, more typically known as the zombie ant fungus. This fungus, as suggested by the name, can infect insects with its spores, which then takes control of their body, leaving them like in a zombie-like state. The fungus will then tell the insect, most commonly an ant, to climb to higher ground where it will then bite down on the surface until the fungus bursts out of its head, releasing spores that will infect the next host. In the game, it is stated that it was due to a mutation caused by global warming that led to the cordyceps to develop the ability to infect humans. Just like with ants, the infected in the game spread through spores that forces characters to wear masks to walk through heavily contaminated areas. These infected humans are completely self-aware but lack control over their bodies, making their only goal to spread the virus. Here is a picture of what a real-life ant would look with the virus versus a human in the world of the game. While the game is mostly fiction, it does have some real-life things that takes in place. For example, the main cause of the apocalypse, the cordyceps, is an actual live fungus that we get to learn about, and it takes controls over insects by using its spores and taking control over their nervous system, causing them to have no control over their motor functions. A crucial part of a fungus lifestyle is their cycle is their spores, which is emphasized a lot in the game as their main method of reproducing the virus and spreading it around. They will use the spores to infect hosts and then basically will them to keep spreading the virus. In the game, climate change is the main reason why the cordyceps was able to evolve in order to infect humans, which is accurate to how in the real world, global warming can have effects on evolution, making different species have to be able to adapt to survive. And while there are no zombie virus that could affect humans, there are fungi that could have the capability to affect humans' brains and behaviors, causing them to hear, see, and even feel things that are not real. And just like in The Last of Us, real life has shown how quickly a virus can spread, especially in a heavily populated areas, the most recent example being COVID-19, which quickly took over the world, infecting hundreds of people by the day. Now, to talk more about the more unrealistic side of The Last of Us. First, starting up with how the cordyceps infecting a human will be very far-fetched idea, just due to the fact that humans have far more complex immune system and brains than an insect would, making it harder for them to be infected. Another reason why it will be very unlikely for it to infect humans is due to the fact that most fungus can survive in temperatures of 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, making humans not meet their conditions of reproduction. It is also said in the game how it was due to its evolution that the cordyceps was able to infect humans, but in real life it took around 45 million years for it to even learn to even parasite on ants, and it has yet to jump to infect mammals. So it will be very far-fetched for it to have infected humans in such a short amount of time. The behavior of the affected in the game, the humans are far more aggressive and life-threatening, but like in real life, ants and other insects do not behave aggressive in any way. They simply just find higher ground until they're able to reproduce the fungus. The behavior of the infected humans in the game resembles that more of what rabies will do, due to the fact that the human brain is far more complex than that of an insect. And while there are parasitic organisms that can affect another species' behavior, it is very unlikely for it to be happening to a human due to also their far more advanced immune system. In conclusion, while The Last of Us exaggerates a lot of the science for the sake of a better game, it does draw inspiration from real-world science, making it more captivating and intriguing as a good mix of blend of fiction and reality. And while the game's fungal apocalypse is entirely fictional, it does bring attention to how infections and viruses can widespread and cause big impacts to the world and its inhabitants, and how climate change can lead to evolution changes in species, even if it might take many years, but they will adapt in order to survive. But due to The Last of Us taking in biological facts to create their world, it makes them more unique as a concept, since it makes you wonder if one day an evolution like that could happen and if that could become one day a probable reality.